You asked for it, and we are delivering. Welcome to the one and only All Access podcast, all about your Blue Comets football. Welcome to Beyond the End Zone, Blue Comets football, with head coach Calvin Brown.
Welcome to the one and only All Access podcast for you, the fans, on your Asheboro Blue Comets. Welcome to Beyond the End Zone, Blue Comets football, episode 2. This episode, we dive into Week 1's win over Albemarle, fixing the mistakes to get a clean win, putting the W behind, and focusing on them Wildcats. Also, we go inside the Blue Comets locker room with a player you're going to want to hear from. I'm Jay with Sports in the Borough, and with me is 1-0 Blue Comets football head coach Calvin Brown. And Coach, Week 1, it was exciting. The fans were pumped, and it came down to the wire. And if you fans haven't watched it, go to Facebook and Instagram for Blue Comets football and watch Week 1 video. It was exciting, was it not, Coach?
Yes, it was. It wasn't a great execution game, but it was a great game for us. We found a way to win. It was a nail-biter there at the end. With our backs against the wall, our guys found a way to win it, and that was exciting for our guys and our community.
And Coach, let's go to game day. Let's go to Friday morning. What's going on, and what were you prepping? You and the coaches, kind of walk me through Friday morning.
Myself and my coaching staff, we just spend a lot of time getting prepared, everything we need. With it being Week 1, there's a lot of things you not think about. Just make sure you got for the sidelines and making sure we've final touches on every little thing. And this week, being Week 1 at Asheboro, there's a lot of nerves going with me. A lot of sitting around, kind of just waiting for the game to get here, and so there's a lot of nerves. And I'm very fortunate to have the maintenance crew that goes out and does all the painting and field setup. So I wasn't really anything for me to do but sit around and be a little nervous.
You used to do that.
I'm used to having to go out and mow and paint and all that. So it was nice not having to do that work, but it gave me more time to sit there and be nervous, I believe.
And right before game, I remember walking in the locker room and it was radio silence. Did you tell them, like, guys, get in the zone? What was going on? Because everyone was quiet. You could hear a pin drop. We
talked about how for us to do what we want to do and to be the champions, that the mental preparation is huge. So we had a discussion with our guys. Now, we were not in the locker room with them. So what they did was kind of on their own. And that's just them being great young men, being prepared and ready to go play. And so the locker room was exactly how it needed to be. And as we walked in as coaches to get them ready for that last little talk there.
I don't know if you know this, but apparently Jalen Moore stood up on the bench and got everybody hyped.
Jalen Moore does do that a lot. He is our hype guy. He can do that, and people rally around him.
And you wouldn't know it because he's very quiet when you first meet him.
He is. You don't know what Jalen's going to walk in your room, but sometimes he'll come in the office and sit down and he can cut up with you and have a good conversation with you. Great young man. And
Coach, Albemarle came to fight. I mean, they had 197 receiving yards, a touchdown, 32 carries for 233 rushing yards, 3 total touchdowns, but 2 interceptions.
Yeah, we knew Albemarle was a good team coming in. They've got a lot of talent, a lot of skilled guys, and their speed is incredible. And then they were huge up front. So we knew that they were going to be a tough battle for us, just because of what talent they had and then the history at Albemarle. Them guys, they grew up knowing that's just Albemarle football is what you do. And so them guys were prepared. They gave a good fight in the game. I thought it was a well-played game on both ends. The turnovers was a huge part for us. That helped us.
Yeah, because, you got that fumble recovery, 2 interceptions. But, they ran. They love running the ball. He did pull back and throw. But they love that offense is a heavy run, but they try to trick you a little bit, I noticed. They'll roll out or they'll go right up the middle.
Yeah, number 4 was an incredible running back. He was tough for us to tackle. He got going, he was very physical, and we had issues getting him to the ground. And then the quarterback, number 10, he threw some great balls, very accurate with his throwing. He dropped some in some tight spots. And I thought our guys wasn't in bad position. He made really good throws. And, sometimes you have to tip your hat to the guy, and he made great throws, and they made great plays throughout the game.
It was definitely a nail-biter. But what set the tone, Coach, is what we always talk about, special teams. Special teams is very important. Some people don't even realize that.
Special teams is huge for us. We take a big emphasis and pride in our special teams. We got the game started off. We wanted to take the ball. We were hoping we could go down and put the first points on the board of the year. We were able to do that, but it was set up by our huge kickoff return by Jalen Moore. He made a play, but our guys blocking for him did a great job. But we put a huge emphasis on special teams. I've got my 2 coordinators and myself. I run the special teams. So that's kind of one thing that I take pride in is I got an offense coordinator, defense coordinator, and I'm going to be the special teams guy. We got some things to fix in our kicking game, but our return game was really good for us.
And yeah, I think it was, what did he do, 47-yard return that first one, if I'm correct?
Yes, that first one was 47 yards, and it put us in great field position, and we was able to put the first touchdown of the season on the board after that.
But it's got to be a little frustrating at first because it was a little sloppy, your offense coming out. But what helped you a lot was drawing them off sides a lot.
Yeah, we were sloppy offensively in some things, and it wasn't real bad when we went back and watched film. It was one or two things, minor things here or there that just kind of hurt us on each play. But one thing I can say about our guys is we were very disciplined. For us to be able to draw them off sides and our guys not jump, we were a disciplined football team, and that's one thing we preach. If you're disciplined, good things will happen, and we did. We were not hardly penalized at all Friday night. I think we had 4 penalties for 35 yards, and in week one, that's incredible. Usually teams week one, there's a lot of issues going on, delayed games, false starts, and we didn't have any of that. And so I was proud of our guys for being disciplined.
Is that something you and Coach Handy have always done, kind of just try to draw the opponent off sides?
Yeah, we like to do that just to keep them guessing. If you sit there and don't do any of that, they're going to pin their ears and here they come. And we got to keep their defensive linemen guessing and a little slower off the ball with doing that.
But, I mean, once you got them off sides, and then next thing you know, that first touchdown of the season, a beautiful pass by Logan Laughlin to Elijah Woodle. I mean, that ball was gorgeous, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, Logan made a great throw and a great catch by Elijah on that. We sprinted Logan out, gave him out of the pocket, and he saw Elijah headed to the back corner of that end zone, and he was able to find him right there.
And, I mean, we little sneak peek, our inside the locker room is Elijah Woodle, but he was telling us as Logan rolled off, he was like, oh, yeah, it's coming my way.
They have a good connection, and there was no doubt Logan was finding Elijah Friday night. As he dropped back or sprinted out, his eyes were finding number one, and that's not a bad decision on his part. If things aren't looking good, find where number one's at, and that's probably going to be a good place to throw it.
And one thing I feel like we struggled with a little bit, Coach, the run game, 12 total yards. I mean, what are we going to do to fix that? And what did you see? Was it O-line that you got to work on, or everybody, or what's going on?
There was a mixture. Our run game did struggle. Some of it, I'm going to give credit to Albemarle. I thought they played really well up front. We had a few things here and there, blocking assignments. We had a few things here and there, not hitting the whole running back. So it was a combination, and I'm not going to put it on anybody. Like I said, we might have 4 guys doing right. We might have had 1 each play, and it just would make the play fold. We're going to be better in the run game going forward. We've got some things fixed. My running back coach was able to fix a few things this week in practice, so I'm excited to see where our running game goes because we've got to be a balanced team. We were not Friday night against Albemarle, but we need to get to where we can be balanced. Obviously, we can throw the ball, but for us to be successful down the road, we need to be able to run the ball as well.
And that's correct, Coach. I mean, your pass game was on point. I mean, Logan had 16 for 24, 224 yards, 3 total touchdowns, and my favorite stat, no interceptions.
Yes, he played well. He took care of the football and made some big-time throws when it mattered. And he's got guys. We tell him all the time, you've got weapons, so you just find them and get the ball. And we got a lot of guys that can make plays. Some of them didn't get catches Friday night because their corners did a good job taking our outside receivers away. And we were able to focus on our slots a little bit, but our outside receivers are a big threat as well.
Especially, I noticed Aiden Robinson and Amari Godwin got some good catches that really kind of helped us as well during the game.
Yeah, Aiden had several good catches, good possession catches, get us some first downs, some short yardage stuff. And then we had a huge 4th and 8 where Amari Godwin made a great catch on the sidelines to give us the first down where we ended up scoring to take the lead there in the third quarter. But he made an incredible catch on that one right at the sidelines. And then he had another one later in the game. So Amari stepped up and made plays when we needed them Friday night for sure.
And that's the thing, Coach. Once you get that run game, fixed, it's going to be really dangerous to, defend against you.
Yeah, that's our plan. That's why we want to be balanced. We don't want people being able to just, being able to just to focus on our passing game to stop us. We've got to be balanced, and that's what we're preaching this week in practice: is make sure that we can run the ball, whether it's up front with our running backs, everyone. And we'll get there. There were some timing issues and different things, so we'll get there for sure.
And are you going to keep throwing in different running backs? I know you had a couple different looks. You were rotating in and out.
Yes, we got several guys that can run the ball that we feel confident in, and they're all playing defense. So to keep them fresh, Jalen got most of the carries Friday night just because a couple of our other guys were tired, banged up, or whatever, and Jalen was able to keep going. But we're going to be able to rotate some guys in there and keep them fresh, and hopefully that will help as well.
And one player, Coach, that was fresh on the field was Elijah Woodle. I mean, 3 touchdowns, 143 total yards, and lockdown defense. I mean, Coach, you said in your pregame speech for someone to step up, and boy, did number 1 step up.
Yeah, Elijah had a great game. We knew he had the ability. He's an unbelievable talent. And just to step up and make plays. Logan found him, but for him, when the ball gets in his hands, he's dangerous. And those 8 catches, and he turned a lot of it into long receptions by just getting the ball and running with it. And then he made some tough catches in the back corner of the end zones for touchdowns where Logan was able to find him. So Elijah made great plays. He was a great playmaker for us with him and Logan finding that connection Friday night.
And with that statement made by Woodle, we have no choice but to go inside the Blue Comets locker room with Elijah Woodle.
Now it's time to go inside the Blue Comets locker room.
Welcome to Inside Blue Comets Locker Room, and we're here with number 1 standout, Elijah Woodle. Number 1, you backed it up Friday night. 143 total yards, 8 receptions, and 3 TDs. Man, what was the secret sauce there?
Just to play as a team and just to come out ready.
I saw you pregame. You were getting in the zone. I saw a little head shaking, and I think you're right beside your partner who's beside us right now, Jalen Moore.
Yeah.
What's the secret of pregame, the hypeness? Like, how do you get in the zone?
At first, you bump music, and then you come to yourself and listen to your own music in your own headphones and stuff.
When I came in to film the game, you guys were quiet. I heard a timer, so I was like, what was going on?
He just wanted us, we got done warming up, eating. We came back in there. He told us that we need to be ready. And then Jalen gave us a talk, and then we all just put our headphones in, got quiet, and found ourselves.
Must have been pretty hyped because I saw Jalen in the hallway by himself, just a nod and in his zone.
Yeah.
And then when I went inside, so Coach comes in. Is there a ritual you do before the game, or is it just kind of you said you bump music? You got a certain playlist you like? Or,
Yeah, it's on SoundCloud. Can't give it out there. Not a lot of people. It's just for me.
Is that the secret? You don't want to hear it? Is that you scared that corner's going to hear it and get in the zone to guard you?
Yeah.
All right, so you got to actually, be the first official touchdown of the season for the Blue Comets. And it's got to mean a lot, but I want you to walk me through it. So you get in the huddle. Special teams, Jalen Moore, we keep mentioning his name, but Jalen Moore puts you guys in great
Good
field position.
Yeah. I seen when he called the play, I looked over at Logan. I just give Logan a look. He already know what the look is. So then I turn my shoulder. I see Logan roll out. I said, oh, yeah, it's coming to me. Dude was already, the dude in front of me, he was sitting flat-footed. I was like, oh, yeah, this is a touchdown. Logan threw it. The band went off.
So when you say he's flat-footed, are you looking at that corner? Did you just could tell he was just like, all right, this guy's not guarding me?
Yeah, because when I would run in front of him, he would stay still. He wouldn't move. And I hit a move to the left. And his reaction time is delayed, so I could tell he wasn't.
Was it the rock? Is that what Coach Handy calls it? The rock? What does he call it in practice?
It's the hesitation of the rock.
Did you feel like when you got past him, you're like, oh yeah, let's go?
Yeah, because I knew he was gonna be on me the whole game. As soon as I got that first one, I already knew.
And what's crazy is I feel like most people, you get too excited and you'll drop the pass, but it's like you waited, you saw it through. You weren't getting excited until you knew that ball was in your hands and you heard the band going off.
Yeah. It was a good feeling, for real.
And being the first touchdown of the season, too, after a rough season last year, it's got to mean a lot to know that you kick-started the season with that.
Yeah, we started off strong.
And looking at it, when did you realize that rhythm was happening? Was it that touchdown play, or was it later on when you got that other catch up the middle and you were just weaving? And I know you fumbled it one time, but y'all recovered it. But
Actually, the fumble was I would say the fumble probably made me get to going because that made me tighten up a little bit more. I couldn't have no more mistakes or we was going to lose that ball game.
Well, you're reading the defense great, it sounds like. It sounds like you knew off the bat, you're like, this guy's mine. These guys, these DBs are not going to stop me.
Yeah.
And I even heard you on the sidelines they ain't going to stop me. You were getting hyped, man. You're getting the team hyped. I mean, we even saw Jalen screaming down on the sideline when he came off. It was crazy to see the whole sideline. I saw you and Handy dunking it. Is that something y'all do?
Yeah, we made that handshake up, I would say 3 days before the game.
I would say because it looked like a nice slam dunk. I know basketball's your sport, but I think football might be a close first as well, skill-wise.
It's a close call.
It's not even just one touchdown. Dude, you had 3. Yeah. After that second one, was it okay, what was going through your mind? Because, dude, you couldn't be stopped. Because one, most people are excited about it. They're like, yes, it's a great game. But, dude, you had 3.
It's like when you get one, your adrenaline start rushing. And it's like you just keep going and you get eager to just keep going.
and you kept going. I mean, even the second one was great. The third one, it was just like, okay, this dude is ready. And then even including that, you had Aiden Robinson and Godwin stepping up as well. So what does that mean to have those kind of receivers that allow you to get open?
It's like, once them two caught the pass, that gets me going a lot more, because that makes me see that the team is we playing as one right now. And Amari had that big catch, and I was like, oh yeah, if Amari turning up, I'm already knowing the team finna be going good. And Aiden, he made that big play across the middle that got us that first down, and I was like, oh yeah, this is good positioning right here.
Y'all got a little friendly competition going in the game or anything?
Not really. We all share our reps equally, and we play our part good. So, I mean, it's really no competition for real. We're all on the same level for real. And
it's really cool because it's good for an offense to have multiple threats. I mean, you got Logan Laughlin, who, I mean, the dude, no interceptions, which speaks, volumes.
Got a rocket.
I mean, how does it feel to have a quarterback like Logan?
Logan, I'm glad he transferred here this year. I'm really glad, because if not, I would have had to be back there. And
You didn't want to be QB?
Nah, not really.
Be a wide receiver?
Yeah.
Number one right there on the right side, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, that first touchdown to you was a bomb. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, we got a perfect shot. If you go on Facebook, Asheboro Football Facebook page, you'll see a hype video for the Week 1 recap. And boy, that bomb was beautiful. The spiral, you name it. I mean, you had to get excited when you saw it come. You're like, wow, that's a beauty. And the fact that not even only him, but Aiden and like we said, Godwin, they're there. I mean, it's good to have those threats, but where's y'all's chemistry come from? Off season, have y'all always been that close?
Me and Amari, we've been close since we was little. Aiden, we just goof around a lot. That's kind of where we get close from, and that's the same way with Logan. But me and Logan talk a lot and text a lot, so.
It's funny because I feel like Aiden brings a little bit of the comedy with him. Is he the team comedian?
Him and Ben.
What about Leighton? I see them all on the sidelines at practice, all them guys.
Leighton's goofy too, but he's kind of quiet though. Yeah. He's quiet, goofy.
You got a good team, man. It's great. But here's the thing that's crazy about it: you play both sides of the ball. So let's talk about defense. I mean, they didn't even want. It looked like they were scared to throw it your way.
Yeah, I was hoping they threw it over there at least. Well, they did throw it once, but it was an incompletion. But after that, they just kept throwing it to Kai Matthews' side. So.
And what's crazy is, I mean, you were getting hyped. You wanted them to throw the ball your side.
Yes, I wanted a pick. I wanted a pick bad. I promise you, they're not getting the pass off.
And I could hear you on the sideline, come my way.
I kept telling the wide receiver in front of me, I don't know if y'all heard it on the sideline or not, I was like, tell y'all quarterback to throw it to you over here. And he was just smiling at me and laughing.
I mean, they called that timeout when it was coming down to the wire, and I remember hearing you saying, please throw the ball this way.
Yeah.
I mean, what is your adrenaline just kicking and you don't even know, you're just
when
excited?
When it's close situations like that and we was up, I was very happy because I know we're going to do something big. We got the momentum right now. They was looking down, and they snapped the ball through it, and Kai got that pick. I was like, oh yeah, it's game time.
I mean, they were targeting him. What's crazy is they were picking on him all game, and then I think he hit that switch where he's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And he decided to, eat. He decided to eat that ball and take for the game.
Yeah, when he caught that made my adrenaline rush even more.
I thought you were going to do a backflip. I swear, because I was on the camera. I look right there. I look over there. I was like, man, is Woodle about to do a backflip? He's so excited over it.
I was thinking about it, but my legs was too sore to do one for real. I was so tight after the game, I couldn't even do it.
And when you saw that interception, you knew, and that knee, when Logan took that second knee to end the game, I mean, what emotions came over you? Because the last few years it's been tough.
Yeah. When Logan took that second knee and Brown came over and gave us a hug, for real, that meant something, for real. We haven't had that win in a minute, especially not at home.
Especially 1-9 last year.
Yeah, it was rough. But this year I feel like we're going to be different, and people don't expect that.
And that's the great part about being an underdog. People are like, we'll see what they can do. But I feel like Coach Brown, I mean, it was sincere at the end of that game when he was hugging y'all. I mean, I heard him tell you, who else did he grab? And was it Jalen?
Yeah.
Jalen, and he just telling you how proud he was of you boys. What did that mean to you to hear your head coach say that?
It felt special, it warmed my heart up a little bit, for real.
I mean, he cares about you guys, I can tell.
Yeah. He'll yell at us sometimes, but at the end of the day, we know it's all out of love.
And what does it feel like to have Coach Brown this year, a new coach? I mean, you guys had a similar coach for the last few years. Now you got a whole new coaching staff. What is it like to play for Coach Brown?
With Coach Brown, it's pretty fun to play for him because he'll yell at you, but at the end of the day, he'll be laughing and goofing around with you and stuff. And he's just a smart coach for real.
And then you got Coach Handy on offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Handy. Handy's my boy. That's my boy. Like, we got handshakes and stuff, celebrations. I like Coach Handy.
I mean, you have a close bond with him because he's also your wide receiver coach, not even your offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've seen your practice. He really has taught you guys a lot. Am I lying, or what do you feel like this year bringing Coach Handy as a receiver coach? What have you learned? How much has he brought to the table?
He actually like teaches us how to get separation other than getting open, if you see what I'm saying. He'll like, when he teaches us a route, he also teaches us like how to get room from doing the routes and stuff. And that's really helpful when he does that, and separation on the field.
Can you tell he's had a little wide receiver playing back in his day?
Yeah.
I must say, he lets y'all know if y'all miss something.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured that out.
Because he's very vocal. I was saying he gets hyped too. I saw him run over and tell him how after your touchdown. I mean, he came and grabbed you. He was excited.
Yeah, I seen him jumping on the sideline too, up and down on the film.
And now I see Coach Parrish running down with his fingers pointing. Let's go, let's go. I mean, everybody was. I mean, dude, it was exciting. I mean, I thought I was going to drop my camera. The excitement on the sideline.
Yeah.
All right, you got to win.
Yeah.
Now it's time to move on.
Yeah.
How are you prepping for the Wildcats?
We just got to stay focused. They think they're going to come out here and beat us, or we're not going to put up a fight. We actually are. They don't know that.
And would it come like coming in practice Monday, were you guys like still feeling a little, excitement from the win, or was it like, all right, let's time to get to work?
I was sore at first, but we was all locked in on Monday. We had a good practice, watched some film, and then we went home.
And that's what's crazy because it's a big week. Coach said, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the W. He said, but it's time to go to work. You got to put it in the rearview mirror. What are you working on this week to prepare for the Wildcats?
I'm working on leadership, keeping my head up during the game and stuff, because there was a couple of times I wanted to drop my head, but I had to keep going. But I would say getting more open and running routes right and getting the play calls right, because I got a couple play calls wrong last game.
As a team, what are y'all preparing for this week?
We're preparing, like, we trying to all, like, be as one and not, like, get down on all each other, if you see what I'm saying. But we want to, like, play as one and just outwork them.
So you want to give that 0-2 to the Wildcats.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You got 1-0, but it's like everybody always has this expectation of like, okay, the Wildcats are coming to Asheboro. Yeah. That it's been a tough battle. I mean, Asheboro's lost a lot in the past few years to Eastern.
Yeah, and that's what everybody thinks. They think that we finna come out here and just lose. No.
But you have to put your head down, right? You said you're coming to fight.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how to explain it. We're gonna come ready.
And I mean, a few things, and as we wrap up, I noticed, I'm sure you're working on this, but I noticed there's a lot of running against Albemarle. I mean, they put up a lot of rushing yards.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing to prepare for that? Are you practicing any drills, anything? Because, I mean, they were running up the middle, the side. They pretty much stayed in the game because of the running.
We got a new defense for our ER. We got something special for them.
That's awesome. And then what about that long, deep ball? Because, I mean, it got over a lot.
They're not going to get that off on us this time, I promise you.
And who's some of y'all's leaders on the sideline? Who motivates y'all? You said Jalen gave you a speech. Who are some of the players that lift you guys up when you feel like you want to put your head down?
Kai and Coach Spencer. Them two. And Logan and Aiden. They spark something up on the sideline. Or even when they're on the field. They give you a talk or something, or just motivation.
And they're always lifting you up?
Yeah.
And this week, are you expecting them to throw it at you? I know y'all been studying a little bit, preparing.
I expect them to, because they're probably going to put me on their wide receiver this year, this game.
And also, they're probably going to try to single you out after a big game, because you know how they want to be. They want to show that, number one, you can't do it 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
But you're going to do it 2 straight.
I promise you I'm going to do it 2 weeks straight.
And one last question, and Coach Handy, I feel like he'd be proud of me for asking this question. Should we get the popcorn ready Friday?
Yes, we should.
It's going to be a show?
Yes, it's going to be a show.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being here. Thanks, Elijah, for being our interview for Inside the Blue Comets Locker Room. Man, excited for the season. Excited to keep watching you, number one.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Are you a business wanting to support Beyond the End Zone Blue Comets football podcast? Don't miss your chance to be a sponsor for this all-access podcast on your Asheboro Blue Comets. Contact us at sportsintheborough22@gmail.com and learn about your sponsorship opportunities. Again, That is sportsintheborough22, all one word, @gmail.com. Contact us today.
Great talented young man, Coach. His hypeness, energy brings a lot to the table on offense. And Coach, you have him on defense as well.
Yeah, Elijah, just because of his athletic ability, he's a great corner. He's still learning some things as far as playing the position at corner, with Coach Gordon, Coach Taylor teaching him some things, but with his talent, his speed, he's going to be a great lockdown corner, especially once he gets the fundamentals of playing the position down.
And he likes to talk, Coach. He gets hyped in the game.
He does. He's a big energy guy, always positive. He never gets down. So that's huge for our guys, just to see his positive energy on the field at all times.
And he kept saying, throw the ball my way. He kept even telling the receiver, tell your quarterback to throw the ball my way.
Yeah, and we're fortunate. We've got two good corners, and they kept going to the other side. And, Elijah wasn't getting any much action, his thrown his way. But yeah, he's a great corner, and his athletic ability and able to catch the ball and his speed to make up on things is going to be great for him on the defensive side.
And let's talk a little bit about the ups and downs of defense, Coach. The ups were 58 total tackles, fumble recovery, 2 interceptions. I feel like Hughes had a great game with 10 total tackles, and no sacks is the downside of it, Coach.
Yeah, I thought our defense, we weren't great. We played really hard. When I went back and watched film, we had guys flying around, getting to the football. We had some missed assignments and different things, but I thought their effort is what saved us. And then we made plays. You brought it up. The 3 turnovers was huge. We won the turnover battle Friday night, and I told our guys, you win turnover battle, you win the penalty battle, you're going to put yourself in a position to win, and we did that. So forcing the 3 turnovers was great for our defense. We had almost a little bit of a bend, don't break mentality Friday night. We gave up a lot of yards, but we made plays and got stops when we had to, whether it was the turnovers or the 2-point conversion stop at the end of the game to preserve the lead. So we made the plays when we had to. We just gave up too much early on, and I'd like to see our defense be able to get off the field and not play so many plays in a row and get our offense back on the field. But I was also proud of them for not laying down and just giving up points. They kept fighting and found a way to make plays.
And I felt the defense a little bit like my cardiac cats, where you got to get the defibrillator ready, because they'll go great, and then they'll give you a heart attack with that deep 20-yard, 30-yard bomb that they give up, but then they turn around and come in clutch when you need them to.
Yeah, we had them there at the end of the game. We've got Albemarle on a 4th and a long. We're one stop away from we can probably run the clock out and game be over. And their quarterback and receiver made a great play. I'll be honest, we had 2 guys on the play in great position. The quarterback dropped it in, only spot he could. The receiver made a great catch on the sidelines as we're knocking him out of bounds. And so I'm going to give credit to Albemarle on that play. But our guys, once they made that play, they didn't lose their focus. They didn't quit.
Because most people would be down there like, all right, they're about to score.
Yeah, and I think that past Ashburn teams might have been that way too. But these guys kept playing and kept fighting, and they knew they had to step up and make a play as Albemarle was getting close to scoring and taking the lead late in the game. And then Kai Matthews steps up and gets that interception. We didn't have any sacks on the night, but on that last play with the interception, Leighton Coberly had a quarterback pressure there. He forced him to throw it quick, and so that led to the interception. So a lot of that goes hand in hand. Our guys kept playing, kept fighting, and was able to force that interception.
And I know Matthews had to get a little frustrated that they kept targeting him, but what a statement.
Yeah, they caught the long pass over him to set that up, but then he comes back and makes that play. He had a couple other deflections early in the game when they tried to go deep down the field. Kai Matthews is a great corner. With him and Elijah out there, and we also play Amari Godwin at corner, just to keep him fresh. But Kai can play. He's a really good corner, and so we had no doubt that he could step up and make that play. We had all the confidence in the world in him. Just because he got beat on that one, we wasn't worried, and he came through for us. Big-time
players make big-time plays when it counts, and Matthews did that, Coach.
Yeah, he's a gamer for sure. He's very confident in himself as well, confident in his ability to play corner.
Both your corners are very confident, you tell me, Coach?
Both our corners are confident. And Kai, he didn't let the one completion over top of him there late affect him, and he stepped up and made the play.
And he did, Coach. And I want to know your honest opinion. What did you take away from the defense minus the game-winning interception?
Just how hard we played. Like I said, our guys competed. Even when we didn't do things right, they still played hard. We had guys flying around being physical. and we were much better defensively than we had been in our scrimmages. So I feel like we're progressing. Our guys are making a conscious effort to do what the coaches are asking them to do. And that shows, and so we're proud of that. And we feel like we're going to continue to get better. And I told them, I said, if y'all will play that hard and we keep teaching you, we're going to be fine. And I think that's one thing we can take away from it. Even though we weren't great, we're going to try to find those positives and learn from those mistakes we made and keep playing hard.
And Coach, when you got the ball back on that interception, your coaches wanted to jump, they wanted to celebrate, but you're like, no.
Yeah, that's one thing in the game situation like that. Everybody kind of feels like the game's over with. We got the interception, but there's still a minute and 20 seconds on the clock. And so I knew that we had to still snap it 2 times. And just to try to settle everybody down, I took our last time out there just to settle everybody down to make sure we were good to line up in our victory formation and just kind of calm everybody's nerves because we still got to snap the ball twice and take 2 knees. And, I wanted to make sure we could do that. And once we got that second knee taken and we knew the game was over with, then we could celebrate on the sidelines.
And, Coach, you got emotional. I saw it. I was right there beside you capturing the moment. What was going through you when you saw that clock hit 0 and Asheboro Blue Comets with the first win in a long time?
It was very emotional for me just because the work that has gone in since I got hired and I started here in January. There's been a lot of work going into it from the weight room to our summer workouts to preseason with our coaching staff, with the kids, and not so much with me, but I've seen the work the kids have put into it. I've seen how hard they wanted this win. To see them compete the way they did, I wanted them to be successful. And that's one reason I came to Asheboro is I wanted to see them kids be successful. It has nothing to do with me, but to see the excitement on their face, it did get me a little bit emotional, especially when I had to go talk to the team afterwards. And those are special memories. And I tell them all the time, high school football wins are special. Don't take them for granted because they're not. You don't get many of them Friday nights, and before long it's taken away from you. You don't get to play again. So anytime you can win on a Friday night, it's special, and don't ever take it for granted. And so it was kind of a emotional night for us for sure.
Coach went to every one of your coaches and hugged them and told them you were proud of them.
I did. We wouldn't be anything without our assistant coaches. They're the ones that are doing the work. I'm just kind of the guy sitting here on the radio show with you, and those guys are the ones doing the work. And so knowing what they put into us, being able to be successful on Friday night, I was super proud of them. Those guys are my close friends. And so to experience a special moment like that with them on the sidelines, it's special for us. We're a very close group, and so for us to get that win together was very special.
And you grabbed Jalen Moore and Elijah Woodle, and you also told them you were proud of them as well.
Yeah, just for
and all your players really, but that's the one I saw up front.
Yeah, I grabbed as many of them guys as I could, but yeah, Jalen and Elijah, I saw them after we went through the handshake line, and I kind of grabbed them first, just how proud I was of how hard they played. They didn't quit, they kept fighting, and then they made plays when they had to. And so I was just extremely proud of them, their leadership on the field. They were 2 of our captains Friday night. And so for them to lead by example the way they did, I was just super proud of them.
Dr. Moody got excited. He was pumped at that W.
Dr. Moody loves high school football, and he loves Asheboro High School. And
did he play at Citadel is what I heard someone told me?
He did. He actually played at the Navy and the Citadel in college. So he is a football guy. He's a former football coach himself, so he's very passionate about it. He's very passionate about Asheboro High School, and so I think it was a great moment for him as well.
And, Coach, that speech you gave at the end, you told them that they never quit fighting, that, it wasn't pretty, but you never stopped. And then you also said something that was very impactful, we're winning now. Yeah,
I think there's been a lot of talk, and, it is the truth that it's going to take us time to get Asheboro to the place that we want it to be. But we've got seniors on this team. So we're not out here working every day preparing for the future. We're preparing for them guys to be successful now. That's their senior year, and I want them to be successful. And our defensive line coach, Coach Spencer, spoke to the team last Tuesday, and that's one thing he told them. He said, listen, guys, we're here to win now. And, that kind of set with them. We had a great week of practice last week after he talked to them, had a little speech with them. And we're not worried about what else is going on. We're worried about each Friday night, and we want to win each Friday night. And, that's one thing. We were proud of their effort and all that and how hard they fought and competed. And we're here to win right now.
Yep, and winning starts in the film room. And I know you guys started preparing for your week 2 home game versus Eastern Randolph. What did you take away from your film study?
Eastern Randolph is a really good football team.
Eastern Alamance is a tough team.
Yeah, Eastern Alamance is one of the top teams in 3A in the state of North Carolina. So Eastern Randolph, it was a tight game for a while. I think Eastern Alamance might have warmed down late, but Eastern Randolph's got a lot of talent. They got a quarterback who throws it well, but who can also take off running with it and beat you with his legs. They've got a huge offensive line and a Carolina commitment from Janai Norwood, who plays O-line and D-line, and he's going to be tough for our guys. He's huge. He does a great job. He never comes off the field. He is a tough player, and I was impressed with how hard he played all the time Friday night against Eastern Alamance. So they've got several linemen going both ways. They got the Stalker kid who's really good as well, who plays center and some defensive end. But they've got some guys going both ways, just like we do. They got worn down Friday night, kind of like we did a little bit too. So that's one thing that we match up well with them on that end. But they've got some good players. A great receiver, number 9 for them. The quarterback really looks to him almost like Logan's looking to Elijah. They find where number 9's at, and they get him the ball in the passing game. So a lot of great players for Eastern Randolph. They're well coached. Burton Cates does a great job with them. I mean, we know they're going to be prepared. He's been doing it for a long time and had a lot of success. So we know that he's going to prepare his guys, and we're going to have our hard task Friday night going against Eastern Randolph. But we're up for the challenge for sure.
It's definitely a challenge because, I mean, we kind of talked about it. Eastern has been like the Randolph team last few years. Yeah,
last couple of years, there's no doubt they've been one of the top teams in the area. Been very successful. They've made deep playoff runs in 1A football. So it's a challenge. We're not going back down from a challenge for sure. Our coaching staff and players, I think they're looking forward to it. Playing one of the better teams in the area Friday night, just to see where we're at. I think this would be a good measuring stick from where we're at. And I think that if we come out and play and execute the way that we should, that we can be in the game. And if we can keep it close late, who knows what will happen.
And I don't think Woodle's going to back down here. He told me he's ready to go.
Yeah, our guys are excited about the opportunity. And that's good. Anytime you play another good team, you want the guys to rise to the occasion. And we got that opportunity this Friday night.
And give us a little sneak peek, Coach. What are you adding to practice this week to kind of fix the mistakes, but also that's going to prepare them for a tough Eastern Randolph team?
We're just trying to take the mistakes we made and fix them. Like I said, it weren't huge mistakes, so it's very fixable stuff that our coaches are doing at practice in their individual groups each day. So I think a lot of that stuff will be fixed, but also a lot of it is repetition. It's just we just got to keep doing it over and over and over until we eventually get it. And so we'll do that. And we as a coaching staff, we like our game plan this week for Eastern Randolph. We think there's a few things we can attack and take advantage of. So we'll see and how it goes.
And Coach, you got to be excited with the numerous touchdowns. I mean, you already put up almost half of what we put up last year.
Yeah, I mean, there's playmakers here, and they're going to be able to score touchdowns. There's no doubt about that. And we got a quarterback that can find guys. So putting up points should be a problem for us this year. We ought to be able to do that each week.
And Coach, the crowd's going to be hyped on both sides. I mean, not even just Asheboro. They're going to be packed in from Eastern as well. Game time 7:30, Friday, August 25th. Come watch some Friday night Blue Comets lights, our listeners. But Coach, any hypeness or anything to tell the community, get their butts in the seats?
Let's pack Lee J. Stone Stadium. I know this is a huge rival. Asheboro Eastern Randolph is a long-standing rivalry between the two schools. So we need to try to pack Lee J. Stone Stadium and let's be loud. Our guys are making big plays. Let's get everybody on their feet and let's be loud in that stadium and see if we can encourage our guys to a huge win for us this week.
Even the parents are commenting that they love coaches like you guys and that they've been waiting for coaches like you to come in their boys' lives for a long time.
Well, we just, we love the game of football and we love these kids and anything we can do to have an impact on their life is what we're here to do. And so we're trying to do that each and every day just to have a positive impact on them.
And it is, Coach. I mean, coaches are so impactful. You never forget them. I mean, I have a few of mine. I remember Masterson, Coach George, Nance, some that made impact in my lives that it means a lot when you make that into their lives and their parents respect you and they know you're teaching them to be men off the field as well.
Yeah, and that's one of our goals is, not only be successful on the field, but off the field as well. And so we're trying to instill some things like that. And you mentioned some really good ones you had when you was in school here. I remember some great coaches and some great guys that I've got to know over the years and in the coaching world and since I've gotten to Asheboro. And those were great coaches that we're trying to be the same, just like them.
And we want to thank you all, our listeners. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and let us get the ball in the end zone on this one and only all-access podcast for you, the fans, on your Asheboro Blue Comets football. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time on Beyond the End Zone, Blue Comets football.
Thanks for tuning in to Beyond the End Zone, Blue Comets football. Like, share, subscribe, and tune in to our next episode.